All right, now we're recording. Okay. Well, looking for hopefully one or two more to come on here. Like I said, I think Gary and Marty, I believe, are out of town. I know Gary is, but I think Marty told me he was going somewhere, Cincinnati or something. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, so we'll record this and so they can keep up to speed on what we're doing here and all the major decisions that we're going to be making tonight. Okay. Uh, First of all, I have some good news that I want to announce to everybody.
Good.
Uh, I know I mentioned this to you, Rick, yesterday at Surge Day, and John, I don't know if I've ever you've heard me say this or not, but you remember back some time ago when National wanted us to change the name of our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And, we went through the process and we came up with Indiana Patriots for Convention of States. Well, uh, make a long story short, the issue came up again here recently about changing the name of the broadcast, COS Indiana Live. That was going to need to be changed as well. And I pitched a fit over this, uh, and I told, hey, I really don't want to do that. We've invested some years in the branding of this thing. We meet all the Convention of States guidelines as far as the topics and the content and everything. Listen, we really don't want to change this. And Brenda was at the Surge Day yesterday, and we talked about it again. And she said, "Well, okay." She said, "Let me check one more time with the powers to be, and I'll let you know." So got a Slack message from her last night, and we don't have to change it.
Good.
Woohoo!
And I'll be
We
happy to hear that.
Yeah, we are blessed. So I don't know if there's gonna be some strings attached to that. She didn't say anything about that, but word is that from her now is we don't have to change the name.
Good.
So that's good. That's some good news. Okay. Uh, since you speaking of this team up and events, um, Rick, did you see my text message to you today?
Uh,
You're not good at text messages, are you?
I'm not good at checking them, I guess, apparently. Well, I got an excuse for that, okay? We got this yappy little dog, and every time my phone dings, the dog starts yapping. So I shut it off.
Blaming it on the dog, I'll tell you. So what does the dog do?
She start the phone dings because I got a text message or something like that, and she just starts yapping like and running to see who's at the door and all that stuff. And well, I shut it off and then I forget to turn it back on. So
Oh, okay.
that sounds like a good excuse.
Well,
Only one I got. So.
that's the only one you got, huh? Uh, have you heard or seen anything about this um, leadership summit being planned for Orlando, Florida, this summer?
No, I have not.
Yes, there is a summit being planned for Orlando, Florida, and I can't recall the exact month.
So
I'm thinking, huh?
in person?
Yeah, yeah. Well, and this hotel where it's going to be, they're offering a special rates on rooms until February 15th, and we're only talking about a few days here,
Really?
and we're being encouraged to call and make reservations. So I'll see if I can find the information, and once I find it, we need to get it out to all the people, leadership people, to see if those that want to take advantage of this.
Yeah.
Why this is happening now for an event that's going to occur this summer, I'm I'm really not really clear on this, but that's the way it is right now. So uh, I think it's something we need to get the word out on that. So I'll get more information to you, Rick. So just be aware that that's coming. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Good
Let's
news.
see if I can find it.
All right. Uh, I got to get with Ken on our broadcast for this Monday, the 14th. I think what we're going to do. I think Ken. Ken was at the Surge Day, and he got some video and a number of pictures and everything. And I thought it would be. I know we talked about the Surge Day on the last broadcast with Marty and Rick, but I thought on this broadcast we would, if Ken can put together this video, that Ken and I would just review the Surge Day and play the video and show everybody, uh, what the event looked like that actually happened. And do you think that sounds good?
Sure. I think
They
we
would,
need to show the result. Yeah.
yeah. I think that sounds like it'd be pretty good. Uh, then we'll keep moving on. I quite honestly, I like to have these Monday evening broadcasts planned out a little further ahead. I don't like waiting until the last minute on the week before the broadcast to come up with an idea. But hopefully we'll get better at this. So anyway,
Yeah, I'm sure Ken will be able to put something together real quick for you. The videos he's got, and I took some pictures too that I probably could. Some still pictures. I didn't take any video.
how many? Quite a few.
Yeah, probably 10 or 12, I suppose, something like that.
Okay, all right. Let me make note of that. I would imagine Ken's got plenty of content, but I'm sure he'll be on here before we end this evening. I guess he and his wife go to dinner every Friday evening, and it's sometimes it's pretty tough getting back home by 7 o'clock. So
Right.
for this meeting, so he said he might be a little late. Uh, okay, Rick, I was telling John, I thought we had COS people there over the course of the whole day. I was telling John, I thought we had between 40 and 50 people there. Would
Oh,
you would
yeah,
you agree with that number?
sure, if not more. But
Yeah,
we
yeah,
had at least 40 or 50 for sure. Yeah. We had a good crowd.
yep, yep. That it was very good, very good.
And we had a real good crowd up until about 11 o'clock, and several people left, went on the tour. And then after that, we went. So I think a lot of people must have left the room. But we still had quite a few in the afternoon, but we were busy in the morning, that's for sure.
We were that was the busiest part of the day by
Yeah.
far. But and I think we got some very key legislators that came by and talked to us.
Yeah, well, there was several. I didn't know them, but you could tell they were wearing suits and ties and talking to people, and so there was several of the senators and representatives that stopped by, and they recognized somebody and come over and shake their hand. I know one guy came up and saw Richard and went over and spoke to him and shook his hand and all that. Uh, you guys are, the guys that are really involved there at the state house with those people get, had people stop by and greet them and things like that. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well,
Plus, I know we gave out several. Marty had a real nice. He did a really good job with those books that he had. The little pamphlets with the bookmark in it. The bookmark had a like in there they could see how many of COS members were in their area, how many were their constituents, and he really had it labeled. He had them labeled each one, so we gave out several, so there was quite a
Did
few
you?
that passed out by people to their representative or senator or whatever. So Marty did a nice job setting that up, I tell you.
Did he take the ones that were left, or did you get those?
No, he took the ones that were left and left them with the secretary or whoever it is that lets you in the door where the senators and representatives are, and they're supposed to get passed out to them.
Oh,
So
okay.
eventually they all found their way to the right person.
That's cool. That's cool. Good.
I did get a note today I sent a thank you letter to that lady from the state. I can't remember her name, Tanya or Tonya or something like that. And ask her about next year because I told her we'd probably like to make this an annual event. And so she sent a thing back and said that the 2023 session will be a long session, and that they will open up the um, appointment book at the end of June.
Okay.
So I sent that I copied Marty on that so he can start thinking about maybe what day he wants for next year, and we can get it on the books earlier.
We definitely want to make it an annual event. I don't. I'm just trying to think. Do we want to make it the same day every year, or
I don't know. That's a big question there. So
what's the difference between a short session and a long session as to what the timing of what we're doing here?
that's a question for Marty or Paul. I have no idea, honestly.
I don't either. Okay. All right. I thought that was. I was glad to see Paul there. I thought that was nice of Paul to come down to the event. He had a work commitment later that morning, and so he came down and then had to get back to Fort Wayne for a work commitment. So it was very good of him to come down and do that.
Yeah. Him and I actually got there at the same time and went through the security thing at the same time. I was putting my coat back on and collecting my stuff as he came in and went through security. So he got there. I think I got there about 20 till 9, something like that.
Did you drive down, Rick, or did you stay?
No, I drove down. I left at like at 5:30 in the morning. So.
Those of us that are a few hours away, that makes for a long day.
Oh boy, I was tired. I had to stop
Me too.
a couple times on the way home and get out and get coffee and stuff like that. But
me too. How it's about a 2-hour, 20-minute drive for me. How about you?
Well, the GPS said it was 2.5 hours, but it took me close to 3 hours to get there. Honestly, I'm not sure why. I stopped once for gas and things like that, but.
And what a mess it is in Indianapolis down around 70 and what a mess. Construction going on. Good Lord. Okay. Anyway. All right. I watched a, we have discussed in our meetings about how long the Monday evening broadcast should be and how long the Roundtable broadcast should be. And we've kind of locked in on about 30 minutes on the Monday evening broadcast and 60 minutes on the Roundtable. Well, I watched a StreamYard video about this specific topic, about how long it should be. And would you believe that there are live streamers that are doing 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, and some even longer than that. Who's the guy? Oh, for goodness sakes! He was the kicker for the Colts. Pat McAfee, is that his name?
Pat McAfee, yeah.
he apparently does. She mentioned this on this video that I saw. It so happens the lady that does this StreamYard video is from Indiana, and she caught the Pat McAfee program. It's a live streamed program. I've never watched it, but it's practically an all day program. And but what they do then, they do it in 1 hour segments. It's not all day, but it's a 4 hour plus program every day, mind you. And then what they do is they do it in 1 hour segments, and then they take the recording of the broadcast, and then they break it up into 1 hour videos, and they then market the 1 hour videos to other streams or other platforms or whatever, and they do them in 1 hour segments. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But the point I'm getting at here is the answer. How long should your live stream be? The answer is it depends. It's whatever it takes to cover your content that you have. So and she admits, if you think you've got 60 minutes worth of content here that you want to cover, and you end up covering it in 30 minutes, then say goodnight and end it there. Don't just stay on and drag it out to consume 60 minutes. But they're saying it take whatever time you need to take to cover the content that you have. So I guess live streaming is because people that watch live streaming are not your television viewer. They may tune into your live stream for a few minutes, leave and come back. They're not necessarily there for the whole time. So anyway, I guess the point I'm getting at here is I know on the roundtable we try to keep it to 60 minutes, but let's remember that if we've got good content that we want to put out there, let's don't get hung up on staying within that 60-minute time limit. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. That's why, in the script I put that John has the discretion to, go longer or shorter or whatever. If it's kind of dragging, it's kind of slow, then okay, well, let's wrap it up. But if he's got an energetic group going, you've got a lot of audience participation, then John should have the prerogative to say, things are really going well. Let's take one more question.
Yeah. Okay.
We don't want to go 3 hours, but if he's really got a lively group and there's a lot of energy, then hey, let's go a little longer. So
sounds good. You hear that, John?
I hear it.
You're in control.
Yeah, right.
I know on the Monday night broadcast, Ken and I have gotten to the point. We've talked about this. We're going 40 minutes, 30 to 40, and that feels comfortable generally with what we're trying to do. The guest part, generally questions and things come up that we didn't think about, and it generally lasts a little longer than we intended it to be. So I'm not so hung up on the time anymore. We'll do what's necessary to cover what we want to cover. Okay.
I think I've mentioned this before too. The live streaming is not like a TV show where you start on the hour and you end either on the half hour or the hour, and you've got to go because the next show doesn't start until the top of the hour. You've not got somebody following you that you have to string along until until they come on.
Right.
Like
Right.
Just when you've covered the content and the energy's been out, call it a night.
That's right. That's right. Okay, good. Okay. Um, Now we talked about this last time that as far as the Slido questions for the upcoming Monday night broadcast, you guys are telling Ken and I that you trust that we'll select good questions for the Slido thing, right? Okay, we're still agree on that.
Sure.
Okay, I was hoping if Ken gets on tonight, I want him to bring up the results of the questions that we've got so far. Here's what I'm thinking. As far as the format now for the roundtable, we're going to do. We decided last time the we're going to do a roundtable, the whole broadcast, right on the roundtable. And I'm thinking that we strive for about approximately three. And this is just what I'm thinking. We can change this, but I'm thinking like maybe three 15-minute segments, uh, approximately, and then we need a topic for each of those segments, and of course those topics should be tied into our theme, to the results of our Slido survey polling, and whatever else we think is important. But we have a topic for each of the segments, and we'll have a quick intro, and then I would like to have a commercial, what I call a commercial, after two of the segments, and I want to use a contributor, and we'll probably use John's Journal for this first roundtable coming up, the February 28th one. So we'll have an intro, we'll have a 15-minute segment, a John's Journal, another 15-minute segment, John's Journal, and then the final 15-minute segment and a closing. Does that make sense? That makes sense to you? Or is that too much? Or what do you think?
No, I like breaking it up into shorter segments.
You think shorter than 15 minutes, or
No.
does that sound
15,
good?
15 minutes is good because we've been doing 30 and 40-minute segments.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what I'm thinking there, I agree with the breaking it up like that because I think that's good. Just in the 15 minutes, that may be maybe the first question. We'd only have like say 5 or 6 minutes for everybody to respond to that. So, and I think that becomes again that something that should be John's got discretion of. It's like, okay, one question, two questions. Okay, we're approximately 15 minutes, and then we'll do a break. Or if the one question goes on and it's about 15 minutes, I think John should say, that should be up to John to decide when we're going to take our break, and then you just be ready to do it. I think not be rigid to 15-minute type thing. Is what I'm saying, I guess.
Yeah, give or take 15
Yeah.
minutes, give or take a few.
Give
Right.
it whenever
And-
you think whenever you think it's a good time to take the break.
And what we'll need is, I suppose Ken is going to be the one to play the videos. I don't know, maybe Dale, but we'll need a way to communicate because I don't want to take longer to set up the commercial than it takes to show the commercial. I want to say, and now here's a short video, something like that, and whoever's going to show it would have it ready to go at the drop of a hat.
Okay. All right.
Does it work that way, Dale? I mean, can you do that with like 10 seconds notice or something? Or
Well, I'm trying to think of a. What would probably be, hello, Ken. Nice that you could make it here tonight.
Yeah,
Defiant.
I'm lucky I'm here.
Ken is defiant.
I'm defiant. Yep, I'm putting in my notice right now that these meetings are done with me until we get another time slot. It never works.
Well, you know, I'm all for changing the time. It's just that it seems to get confusing when we change the time slot.
Where is Mart? Did Marty show up tonight?
No,
Yeah, he's out to dinner too.
I think he's in Cincinnati. I think.
Oh,
I think
it's just it's some weeks it works. It seems like now the last 3 weeks for me. It's
All
either
right.
20 minutes to get service or 20 minutes to get your bill, one way or the other. I've got grandkids till 5. So when am I? When are you supposed to eat in between? The 7 o'clock just is too early to me. I'm sorry. I mean, we make it 7:30. I don't know why.
What if we did 8 o'clock? Could everybody make 8 o'clock?
Yeah. In
You
fact,
okay,
I
Rick?
did a couple weeks ago. I came in at
You
8.
did.
Yeah, it's not getting in at 8. I mean, and I mean, I've tried.
How about you? How about you, Rick? Is 8 o'clock okay? Good with you?
Yeah, 8 o'clock's okay with me here.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll move to 8 o'clock.
I appreciate that. I've tried to make this at 7 o'clock, and I think I've made 1 out of the last 4. Although I didn't think that we were gonna have too many more roundtable meetings, but I know we're changing format. So
Well, once we get this, we were talking about this earlier before you got on that. I think after this February 28th roundtable, we'll reduce the number of meetings for March, starting in March. But we will start doing these at 8 o'clock.
I appreciate it. I know Marty will be happy to hear that. We talked about this down at the Surge.
Okay, all right.
Between never not knowing what your restaurant service is going to be, and then add in a few other possibilities, and 7 o'clock just comes too quick.
Well, see, Ken, if you would use the QR code for that restaurant, see, that would save you a lot of time. See?
Yeah.
Get with the technology, man.
I did. I used the QR code, and you know what popped up was this Slido question here.
At the restaurant, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do 8 o'clock. Okay, so what we're talking about here, Ken, is we're talking about starting on the February 28th. We're gonna do roundtable, but we're gonna divide it into basically approximately three 15-minute segments.
Okay.
And so John will do a little short intro. Then we'll do segment 1, and then we'll do a commercial, which will be a contributor, and we'll probably start off with John's journal here, since he just gave us a whole new supply of them.
Well, speaking of that, I was just going to ask you: have you sent them over yet, or no?
No, I haven't. I haven't sent them over. I haven't looked at them yet.
Okay.
I think there's 7 of them in there, John.
7, yeah. He's got to see which ones are usable before he sends them over.
Oh, I see.
And by the way, Dale, I don't keep track of those. If I ever send a bad one that you don't want to use, just don't use it. I'll never know.
Okay. I think there's only one that I haven't used or did not intend on using, and I can't remember what it is.
Doesn't matter to me, because I just turn on the camera and let her rip.
Let it rip, huh?
I think it had to do with some issue that was in the news at that time that has no longer been in the news. I don't remember what it is. Anyway.
Could be, yeah.
So can we do an approximately 15-minute segment, a contributor commercial, another approximately 15-minute segment, a contributor commercial, and then a final 15-minute segment approximately, and then a closing. And we say approximately, they don't have to necessarily be 15 minutes, but they could be longer than that too. If it's John's going to have to, it's going to kind of be up to John
It depends on
And
what John's runtime is. That's all right.
and how it's flowing, how the interest level appears to be. And John, off the top of my head, I think what, as far as uh, uh, triggering Ken to get ready to start
Video.
the video, I think it's going to have to be something you say. It's going to have to be something that you say that he knows you're ready to start this video. Something like, well, it's time. It's time. Let's take a break, and when we come back, then we'll get. When you say let's take a break, then Ken knows to get ready. He'll have the video. He'll have it down here ready to go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I like that.
He could do the regular broadcast thing and say, "Well, we got to pay some bills." So
yeah, something like that. We'll figure out something for you.
I can pay some bills.
But then that'll be the key for him to get that ready to start immediately.
Yeah, I'll say we'll take a break and yeah.
Okay.
The only thing that I'm not thrilled about is that if the only contributor videos you have to play are mine. I mean, I'm the host of the show and I'm also the commercial. I'd like to see some Dan Stock and.
Well, we're working on getting Debbie in there.
Yeah, we're working on getting Debbie Stewart in there.
Does she have any? Has she made any?
Not yet.
Oh, well, I know Dan has made some. We could use those too.
Well, he's only made a couple. I think I've played both of them already, but
yeah, but they're good. Play them again. We
could play them again.
How many times have you seen the M&M's commercial?
And we got Maringo Mike, but now they're very short. They're very short.
So is he.
Good point, John.
Okay, John. But okay, that's a good point. We'll try and maybe I can get Debbie to. Matter of fact, I will. I'll get her on the stick and go.
Tell her we need 2 of them by the 28th.
There you go. Okay, we'll do that.
Yeah.
We always add one to the one you need.
There you go. Okay.
Tell her popular demand.
All right, good. Okay. So let's kind of work on that format, and so now we need to focus on. I know Ken's been still working on this with this software on taking calls.
It's closer. Yeah. It's much better.
It's closer.
Yeah, I think. Well, I think we worked out all the sound issues. We just haven't tested it yet, really. So.
Okay. Are you? You don't want to test that tonight, right?
No. Tonight. Too much technical stuff. We got to be brought in here at this point.
Okay. But next Friday we can nail that down. You think?
Yeah, I think next Friday would be a good time to get it done.
So we've got to factor that in. Do we want to? We got to think about this. We don't have to decide tonight. But do we want to factor in phone calls on each of the segments, or do we want to try and how are we going to tell viewers, how do they do this?
Well, I think early on in the program, you got to invite people to call in. But I think until we get it's kind of like Slido. I think until we get it going a little bit. We could. I don't know if we're going to be able to have enough to do each segment. We might just pick one of the segments to open it up to phone calls.
You're just planning on doing that in the roundtable, right? Not in the Monday night thing.
Right,
Round
right.
table,
This is
yeah,
just the
yeah.
just the round table.
Got too many
So,
other-
are you able, Ken? Are you able to screen that? I mean, what if we get somebody that calls in and does something inappropriate? Let's say.
Yeah, we that's the thing that Dale and I have kind of at this point feel a little bit of hesitancy too. I think we don't have a 2 second delay or anything like that, like they do at a broadcast station.
And with them, doing the chat thing, it gives them plenty of opportunity. And if they're watching the video, they've got access to the chat. So I'm not real sure. I like the idea of the phone call, but I'm not sure just for
Yeah,
that reason whether that's a good thing to add or not.
yeah,
Plus, it's just adding more stuff on you guys to
yeah.
take care of during the show.
I mean, the only advance I'm getting basically, and I mean, until you actually do a, again, like anything else, until you move up into the paying sections of it, that you get any type of. I mean, all I get is the call rings, and then I get a name. I mean, that's all I get. I don't get any type of advance. I have to actually answer the call to get the name, but I think you can get that prior, and maybe there's a way of working out, a way for them to kind of say what they want to talk about or something. It's like a screener would be at a broadcast station. The screener would take the call and get all that ready to go and then put it through. But I don't think we're going to quite have that capability with something that it's Google Voice is what we're using. So
I don't know. I'd be hesitant to add that at this point. I mean, it's probably a
yeah,
little thing, but I'd be hesitant to add it just for that reason. Because once somebody says something in that scenario, once somebody says something, it's in our recording forever.
got a point.
I suppose it could be cut out, I guess. But.
Well, we could we could practice as a matter of practice. We can incorporate this in our roundtables, but only have COS people calling in. In other words, only have plants calling in, so that we can figure out what's going to be the best way to handle these calls. I just kind of like adding that feature to the mix. But at this point in time, I agree with what you're saying, Rick. I think maybe at this point in time we control it so that we know the phone call we're taking is going to be a safe phone call.
Right.
The only thing I could suggest there, Rick and Dale, as I'm thinking about it, and I'd have to probably pop off screen or something for a minute, Dale, is if a call is coming in, I could probably remove myself from the stream, mute myself and take the call, and then find out a little bit about it, and then come in with the call. That's a possibility. It would be just the way of working out how we handle the call. And as I'm thinking about it, because that's what I mentioned to Dale when we first started even testing this, was I had no idea how we would technically get it done. But as I think about it, and as what you're saying, if a call comes in, I know the call's coming in. I could pull myself off. I could take myself off stream, off the live stream, mute myself and take the call. Find out what the caller is going to talk about, and then come back in.
Mm-hmm.
Now, just file this away for future possible use. We can add some more people to our broadcast, like you.
Okay.
I think we can have up to 5. Now,
problem would be that I would still have to do the call, because I got basically everything installed here at this computer.
yeah, I don't know how the technology would work, on how we would work that out, if we could at all.
Yeah, that would have to run from my computer unless we set somebody else up with the technology. And it's, well, I mean, it costs some to put the technology into the computer.
Okay. Well, we won't worry about that now. I'm just saying that we,
Yeah.
StreamYard gives us the ability to add some more administrative people like you.
Mhm.
But how we would factor them in and with the technology, I don't know right now. So
Yep. Yep.
okay. I guess the point I was trying to make was that maybe there is a way to create a phone call scanner, a scanner person that could scan these calls if we ever get to that point. But I'm thinking right now, let's just work to adding the feature, but on a controlled basis, strictly a controlled basis. Okay. So the point I want to get to with these segments is we need to get to identifying, getting a topic for each of the 3 segments coming up for February 28th. What should the topic be for each segment, and then the questions that we're going to address in each of those segments, and are we going to use strictly the executive group for each of these segments, or do we want to bring on maybe in one of the segments or 2 of the segments, maybe do we want to bring on some additional people to add to the executive group, or do we want to replace some of on the executive group with someone else? Or in other words, do we want to mix up the members of the roundtable? Follow what I'm.
My suggestion on that is to stay with the executive group, but bring in one extra person each time. Maybe bring in a district captain or regional captain or, somebody like that to add to the mix. I wouldn't change them in the segments. That's just too much hassle there, but add them at the start and let them be part of the roundtable group through the whole thing. But, I think bringing in somebody new each month is a good way to add new perspective and a different dynamic to the group for sure. I like the idea of adding someone, but we can have a district captain. You could have a
Special guest.
special guest. Like if you had somebody like a Liz Brown or something that wanted to pop in, or something like that, that'd be great. But I think it's good to have the 5 of you guys, and then one other person that'd be an
Well,
extra each time.
right now okay, Rick, you wouldn't be in on this, so it'd be 5 of us. See, George, Gary, and Marty are here, and then Ken and me. That's 5 plus John. That's 6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you're saying maybe we do just the executive group on one of the segments, maybe on another segment, or maybe on each of the segments we bring in a 7th person.
Yeah, and that could be rotated around.
A different 7th member on each
Yeah,
of
it
the
doesn't
segments.
because otherwise I think it becomes like I think what Rick is saying, it becomes a scheduling nightmare if you're having to do that every week, every month, worry about
So that'd be 6. So if we had 3 additional people wait in the waiting room, that would be 9 people. We would be under our 10 people limit.
Yeah, see, I don't think you want to do that though, because like Ken was saying, now you've got to schedule 3 people to try to hope they're there. Just bring in one, and that would be you wouldn't have like a new person each segment. You'd have that one person would be there for the whole show.
Oh! You're saying one person for the whole show,
right?
Yeah.
That just logistically, that'd be much simpler than trying to have a different.
Otherwise, you got to go out and you got to find 3 people each month, and
right.
Okay.
If you just concentrate on the one, and that brings in your new element each month.
Right. So you've got the 5. So all through the show, the roundtable group is going to be the 5 plus the guest.
Well, it'll be, counting John, it'll be 6 plus the guest.
Yeah, you'd have 7 altogether.
Am I right, Rick? Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
You gotta stop doing that new math stuff, Dale. You know.
It's pretty tough.
Maybe there's a QR code or something that I'm.
Yeah, we'll get your QR code. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you got one of the district captains or regional captain, or somebody that's got something special going on in their district or whatever, or you have somebody of special interest on your Monday night broadcast, Debbie or whoever, just pull them in and
Well,
add
I think it should be. Well, okay, but I think it should be someone that kind of relates to the topics that we're going to be covering that in that broadcast, wouldn't it? Or no?
No, I'm not sure how you back that up. But
Be a bonus if they were, but I mean, it doesn't have to be. I would.
Doesn't have to be. Okay. All right. I guess it's probably going to be difficult enough getting another person that would be able to devote the time, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's got a special thing too, as a special guest, and maybe the district captains, regional captains get to the point where they're like, oh, I'd like to be on that roundtable show.
Okay. All right. What do you, Ken? Have you got any Slido results we could look at this evening?
Yeah, hold on.
Well, we're on that topic, Dale. Do you want me to try to find you want me to try to be the one to add the guest each month, or you want to pick somebody, or you want me to try to get involved with trying to pick somebody to add to the team?
Oh, that would be great if you could do that.
I can try
Right.
to. Sure.
Yeah. That's another thing that would be off my list.
And surely I can do that through Slack and find somebody. If
So
not,
this
I'll nominate Susan with the last minute.
So
I
this
can't-
is this is over here. These are the February 7th.
Hold on, I'm gonna make this a full screen. I hope I don't lose anybody. Nope, that didn't help it at all, really.
Okay. Do you want me to? Maybe I can. Maybe can I? If I can. Does it? Does that
I was just
expand?
trying. No, it doesn't.
If you can enlarge it, I don't know. It's awful fine, awful small font.
Is
It
it?
helps a little bit, but
I gotta figure out how to. Well, I guess I'll just read it to you at this point. If we go back and we look at 1-3, we had. Let me see what this is here. I forget these breakdowns. Well, let's say these were 6 people that were. Number of users was 6 on the 7th. It was 4 on the 17th. It was, and then these were, I think, just trial areas there. But then we had 7 engagement score. Now I have to really read what the engagement score is. But then we had a 15 engagement score here for the 7th. Let me see if I can. I can bring the event up. Maybe that'll. I don't know if that'll get larger or not. Event overview. Is that any better?
no.
No. Okay. I'll have to. Well, we had 6 active participants. We had here. This is the engagement score. I think it gave me an explanation of the engagement score here, but it's not. No, there it is. It's very small. That's the total number of questions, likes, and poll votes is what the engagement score is. Had no likes or dislikes. We had a 67% anonymous rate. That was the questions that were posed by anonymous people. Poll votes, we had 3 polls with interaction and 4 votes per poll.
Well, I mean, are you? Can you glare any? Can you get any topics out of these?
Let's see. I might have to get a. Here's an audience Q&A. That was the audience Q&A. Live polls. There we go. Is that a little better? Does that show up any better at all? I'll have to post this in Slack. I think it'll probably be easier readable.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any difference here.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, with the first question, which of these are important to you? Ban federal mandates. That ended up at 80%. Remove social emotional curriculum for public schools was 80%. 100% was obviously election security. 20% ended up at approved use of medical marijuana. Reduce state taxes 60% and secure the border with 60%. For the next one, which one? This was multiple choice. Let's see. Did we show that one or not? Come on. Would you like to be better? Would you like to be better informed about legislative actions that are coming up? That was 100% yes. That was a pretty easy one. And the last one was had them in the wrong order. Would you feel comfortable speaking with your legislator? And that was 100% on that tab as well. So I'll have to I'll run those in the numbers in Slack. But one of the things that, again, the next level up, which would be a paying platform, one of the things that would open up is on those anonymous questions. We'd actually get those anonymous questions beforehand, so we could actually answer them. Right now, they get sprung upon us. So when I start that Slido presentation, if people have put in an anonymous question like that, that pops up first before any of our questions. So it's kind of a surprise. So once we move into a paid level, we'd have an opportunity to see those beforehand and be able to answer them or use them as a question as well. So,
Okay.
plus deeper analytics. I mean, at this point, we're only getting top level analytics.
So I heard you saying election security, mandates, borders.
Yeah, the election security was 100%. That was the top draw on that question. So I'll post those results in Slido. I mean in Slido in Slack.
Okay.
Too many SLs.
Okay, so
Elections. That seemed to be the winner of the topics.
elections. All right.
It'd be nice, speaking of elections, it'd be nice if we could tie Debbie into the things that obviously were against state constitution. Now, I know these are state constitutions we're talking about, but it'd be nice if we could tie in Debbie to kind of point out maybe where some of these in the previous election where states have basically went against their own constitutions. I mean, I think that's been brought out. Maybe she could talk a little bit more about elections and state constitutions. I'm not even totally up to speed, I think, with our own state constitution on elections. Anybody else aware of? I mean, we obviously still operate with a we have to have ID to vote, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And did we do anything different as far as? I mean, I still think if Marty was here, I think he had somewhat of a view on this, that there is still some election fraud going on in our own state. I mean, here in Marion County, I know it went on. So
yes, and I guess they've got one sheriff that has committed to carry through on some processing.
Yeah, so I mean, it would be kind. I mean, I'm just thinking out loud off the top of my head for the next roundtable. Maybe we address elections here in the state, being that we are coming up on midterms, and maybe we review some of that stuff. Our state elections, what our state constitution says.
do we among ourselves know enough about election security in Indiana? I know it's an issue, but I don't know any fact details about it.
No, I'd have to get briefed. I know there's, like I said, I know I've talked to people, and I think Marty and even this Terry Provo is aware of some of the things that obviously went on in our state. But like I said, I think between now and the roundup, I'd have to brush up myself on our state.
Well, I think Marty would have some information on this. Okay.
Be nice if we had, maybe speaking of a special guest, it'd be nice if we had somebody from the outside that we could actually bring in to talk to about that.
Yeah.
Well, a possibility would be our Attorney General, Todd Rokita. He knows something about it.
That's true.
And I learned that the sheriff of Hamilton County, his name is Quackenbush, he's going to get some prosecutions going.
That's who Diane Gomez told me was. That they were working with.
Maybe Diane could talk about it.
Maybe Diane could come on and talk about it.
I was going to say, outside of Marty, maybe if we get Diane or somebody else who has at least a better overall view than we do on that, it would be nice to bring somebody like that in and talk about it. I mean, I think it's an issue that obviously we should all be concerned about. I think it would be an interest in being that was the 100% hit on our Slido.
So should I contact Diane and see if she can come on then to add that element?
I think it would help. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Diane would be a good one.
She knows 20 times more about it than I do.
Prior state director. I mean, it's kind of a,
That would be great. Now, I want Marty's input on this too.
Yeah.
Marty may know as much about this as Diane, but
well, the two of them could battle it out.
Well, there you go. I mean, that's
okay.
Especially when you got that dynamic of two people with input, that really gets things going. I think so. That's they could bounce ideas back and forth all night, maybe. Not all night.
Well, that could be one segment, right?
Yeah,
easily.
Yeah, we could probably take up a good bit of it on that, I believe.
What do you think? What would be some others? The other two segments? Do you think?
No, I think that depends on what questions we come up with. I'm not sure I'd assign a specific topic for each segment, but just pick out the questions you want and just go with that. And maybe have a general topic for the roundtable, but I don't think we need a different topic for each segment, but just some kind of general topic for the month, and then that's what the roundtable is going to focus on, like election fraud or whatever. And then, but each segment will be kind of geared toward that. Or if we don't have enough questions to fill out the show on that subject, we always got others we can pull in. But I just say have a topic for the night type thing.
Yeah, I thought these Slido things through the month were going to lead into topics for the roundtable. So Ken's had some good ones there. I'd say just start lining them up for the roundtable.
Yeah.
And just thinking outside the box too on this, guys. I don't know how to, just throw an idea out there. Maybe, if we look at, of course, these aren't past states yet, but I mean, if we could get a special guest from, say, I don't know, Arizona or Pennsylvania or Georgia, somebody who's in that state with convention of states that could talk about their own state and the election problems they had there. That might be something we could do, in ongoing, special guest type things.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Bring in somebody from whatever state that obviously has a handle on it there and could talk to us about what went on in their state. I just think it's obviously going to, I think that topic's just going to be hotter and hotter as we get closer to elections. And
Well, as long as it relates to Indiana some way,
yeah,
I want to.
well, we're talking, I mean, I mean, that conversation can revolve around, what is the state constitution in Pennsylvania, for instance, and what is it versus what is it here in Indiana? And what did they see that went on there in that state? Obviously, because I think obviously that was obviously national news to most people, that there was some type of obvious election problems there, and not so much here advertised in Indiana, but I mean, we know what's gone on, and so I think it's just overall, it's just something I was thinking about that we could throw out as a special guest, get somebody who would want to come in and join us on that.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going kind of long tonight, but I think that's certainly one topic for sure that we can work on. And we got two more Monday night broadcasts, so two more rounds of Slido input. So
I'll have to work on some questions that will maybe open up some other topics.
Yeah. So we'll peck away at this again next Friday on the 18th at this. But Rick, in the meantime, if you would touch base, you know Diane. I mean, she knows who you are and everything.
Yeah, I had met her for the first time there at the surge thing, but I talked to her for a little bit. Yeah, so she knows me and I know her now.
Touch base with her, see if she would be available for the 28th.
Okay, sure.
And I don't have to make a hard commitment right now, but to see if she would be available.
And if she's not, ask who she might recommend.
Yeah.
I'll do that. Good. Yeah, that's
a good backup question. Mm-hmm.
Always a plan B.
There you go.
Okay. Ken, if you could hang on after the call here, I got a couple things to talk to you about. But I posted on the channel, the Slack channel for the Roundtable team, I posted a spreadsheet that shows kind of where we are on the social media platforms program that we're developing. We've got we're still working with this lady out in Minnesota that's helping us get this set up. We've got accounts set up on about 10 different platforms now. Now we got to find out how in the hell we use them. So we're
Rick and I both talked about trying to, and I haven't started that yet, but we both talked about trying to come up with a software that might help us with that. I mean, we have that to investigate yet. But,
I did a quickie search on the internet, and Ken, I sent you something a little bit ago that
okay.
29 top social media schedulers or something like that, but I didn't get into it too deep, but
yeah, okay. I'll start there anyway.
Other than to see that it looks like it's a possibility of doing.
But we're going to be meeting again with her next week, so we'll keep plugging away at this.
Who is that you're talking to, Dale? So
I'm talking with a lady by the name of Mary, and I think her last name's pronounced Milky, I believe is how it's pronounced. She is a communications person out of Minnesota, Convention of States, Minnesota.
Okay. I thought maybe she had like software or something to do this.
No.
Oh, okay.
She's just very, very knowledgeable on social media platforms and how to set them up and okay. I don't know what all her capabilities are, quite honestly. She's in my servant leadership class, and I just kind of struck up a friendship with her and asked her to help us, and she's agreed to do that. So, she's in favor of what we're trying to do at the state level with social media platforms. So we're doing something that she's very much in favor of. So, and I think if she can help set up our program, she'll try to do the same thing in Minnesota, probably.
Right. Okay.
So anyway, I posted that spreadsheet on the Slack channel. You can take a look at that when you get a chance. Kind of gives you an idea of where we are on it. So that's a whole nother issue. So anyway, that's all I got for tonight, folks. Anybody else? Anybody got any questions or anything?
Nope.
All right. Well,
I'll try to follow up on this Orlando thing. I can't find anything on it real quick here, but I'll
All right.
follow up on that too.
All right. And Ken, just before you got on, I was talking to Rick about I want Rick as the events coordinator. I want him to take on the team up thing as calendar, as kind of his bailiwick. What I don't know, lack of a better term. Since that's where events are posted, so he'll be talking to you and
yeah, I could basically just make Rick an administrator on it, and he can get in and get out.
Yeah.
But I think you're on there. I could take you off and put him in. I don't know whether we can have more than two. I need to check on that.
Oh really? Oh yeah.
I'm not sure. I'll have to look. If we can add more admins, and I think you can. I'll just add Rick as an admin.
Yeah.
If not, I'll take.
If not, take me off and put him on there. I told him I went on there this evening, and I discovered that I didn't even have the COS Indiana live broadcast on there.
Really?
Wasn't on Team Up. So I tried to add some on there, but I got to go back in and work on it again. So anyway, okay.
All right.
Just so you're aware of that. Okay, Rick. Thanks.
Okay. Bye-bye.
I'm gonna end the recording here, Ken.
Okay.